Welcome back to the channel, guys, and we have an interesting quick conversation today. Jack and I have been discussing Ron killings, and Jack, the other night I sent you a clip from Busted Open, and first off, I love Busted Open. It's one of my favorite podcasts to listen to. I don't listen to a lot of podcasts, but Busted Open, I listen to every episode. And Ron Killings cutting such a good promo. I sent it to you. Put some respect on my damn name and don't tell me who I am. Referencing towards Bully Ray, saying don't reference truth anymore. You know, you cut your hair off. You're now Ron Killings. I don't want to hear anything about truth. And Ron Killings coming back and being like, who are you to tell me how to be a character and my character or myself, you know? And I thought this was really interesting the way they did it, because there's very seldomly a character in professional wrestling that can go outside of the actual product, like WWE or AEW or wherever. It's very seldom that we see someone that can take the world of social media and make and enhance their character. And when I say that, the Drew McIntyres of the world can do this. You know what I mean? The MJFs can do it. You know, Ron Killings has found something inside of him that can now be outside of the WWE product, but still be relevant to what's going on. And going in on the guys that Busted It Open, and even Natty said it right after Ron Killings signed off. She goes, I love this version of him. She goes, this is what we've needed from him for a very long time. So the fact that we are getting Ron Killings outside of WWE showing what we've been missing inside of WWE is a fantastic way to build this new brand of his. What did you think first when you saw that video? And what does this give to the Ron Killings character?
It's funny because the first time you watch it, Natty Neidhart's bringing up the fact that Truth went on X and called out Bully Ray for what he said on, Sirius XM's Busted Open, saying, who the fuck are you, basically? I'm driving now. What he's been preaching, essentially, since he's come back. And then he kind of was like, I didn't say that. Did I say that? Let me take out my phone real quick. And he's like, oh man, let me delete that. I don't talk like that. My neighbors talk like that. I don't talk like that. And I'm thinking, like, a little bit of our truth. Like this is like kind of what we've been saying, like, oh, that's not me. Let me delete that. I don't talk like that.
Yeah.
And then Dave LaGreca replayed the video, and all of a sudden Ron Killings like, who the fuck is he? Like literally what he said in his post on X.
Yep.
He's like, don't let anybody tell you who the fuck you are. And I know who the fuck I am better than anybody else. I'm the truth, and I know that better than anybody. And Dave LaGreca's like, oh, man, okay. And Natty's just like, no, this is Ron. I'm not even going to call him Truth anymore. Because she was saying, oh, I love Truth. Truth is like family to me. This isn't our Truth anymore. This is Ron Killings. This is who he is, and he's going off. That was the only weird thing to me. He's like, oh, I didn't say anything. Let me delete that. Like, what was that aspect of it? Like, how did you interpret that?
I interpreted it how I interpreted the Little Jimmy storyline. And I know this sounds crazy, but have you ever seen that movie? I can't remember the name of it. I'm struggling with it. But the guy has like 27 split personalities. Split. Okay, there you go. And it's based off an actual serial killer from, I believe, the 70s or the 60s. And this is what I'm seeing with Truth. You know, like the fact that he snapped into Ron Killings from what looked like our Truth so quickly, it's like, yo, like this is genius. Because we've seen the rapper, R-Truth. We've seen Ron Killings in NWA. We've seen the TikTok version of Truth. We've seen the Little Jimmy, like he's manic and doesn't know really what's going on. He shows up in the Women's Royal Rumble completely clueless. But then we get this realist side of truth. It's almost like that version of him that has been fighting to come out for so long, and now his body or his brain has already has officially broken. You know what I mean? So we get those little, oh, you know, I don't really talk like this. You know, I'm humble, R-Truth. I'm friends with everybody. I help put everybody over, blah, blah, blah. And then you see a version of yourself and you're like, wait a minute, something in my head says, maybe that is me. And that's how I took it. And it's kind of like little Jimmy was a version of R-Truth, you know?
So, like, you think we're going to see a split personality thing between R-Truth and Ron Killings?
Yeah, I really do.
Because even him apologizing, being like, oh, I'm sorry, that's not me. It's like, that kind of takes away from what you said on Raw of like, R-Truth is too forgiving, right? R-Truth can be too nice.
Yeah. I think
like that was R-Truth, and then all of a sudden he snapped into Ron Killings. Because even on SmackDown, like him putting John Cena in the STF, I'm like, that's kind of an R-Truth thing. Like I don't want R-Truth or Ron Killings coming after me and screaming the F word at me, saying that I shouldn't be saying anything. But like, I don't know, like you shouldn't be. I feel like you shouldn't be doing John Cena's moves anymore. But that's just me.
It's a fair and valid point, but I think we're still very early days into this, and just remember, like, the time that Truth is getting on television since his glorious return is only about 4 or 5 minute segments that he's really getting, minus his promo, which I think might go down as one of the greatest promos that we've heard in the last 10 years, and we've heard a lot of good ones, but that Truth to Ron Killings one was really good. I think there is a bit of a split here, and we're going to see more as the year goes on. Even if he just attacks John Cena for the rest of the year, I think I'd be okay with it. But I think he's struggling. The way they're doing this is R-Truth is struggling to find out who he is. He knows he's Ron Killings, and we know what Ron Killings is capable of for the people that followed him in his early career. But he's still struggling to get to that point. Yeah, he cut his hair off. He cuts a great promo on Busted Open, shooting tequila, yelling at people that are that are off camera to do stuff for him. Like, all of it was very not R-Truth at the end of that. So if you watch the entire thing back, there's a huge shift in who he is. And I think that's where they're going to run with this split personality thing. And I'm okay with it, because the last time we saw a split personality character in WWE, I think it was Snitsky, and that was kind of weird. You know, I think this on a main roster level is a lot cooler than what we're getting here.
This could be a scenario too where it's like he kind of really has to take this and run with it and hope it does well.
Yeah.
Because let's say this whole Ron Killings R-Truth split personality thing never really takes off. Well, maybe TKO can say we were right, and then you just let him go again, you know? Like, this isn't a scenario where it's like, oh, this is a 28-year-old kid and the fans wanted him. We made a mistake. Let's stick the rocket ship on him and send him to the moon. Like, he's 53 years old.
Yeah.
Like, if this doesn't work and the fans kind of just go back to being like, that was a fun moment, and then they're sick of R-Truth and playing with that toy, he could just get released again, which would suck. Then it'd be all for nothing.
There's also something that we keep forgetting. Yes, his name is R-Truth, and there's been a lot of play on words since his release. The whole Cena, you can't handle the truth. Yeah, okay, iconic line from Hollywood, but maybe Cena again is right in a way. Maybe we can't handle Ron Killings. You know what I mean? Maybe it's not just the play on words of you can't handle the truth. Maybe it's you can't actually handle what you've asked for. Like, the fans ramped up for 6 days and it was trending for 6 days. We want truth. Are we sure unleashing Ron Killings in a way that we've not really seen him in WWE, can we handle it? And I think that's a cool little way that they're kind of playing this off, and everyone on a podcast or on a media board or whatever a lot of people are talking about R-Truth. He's the big topic right now. And are we sure we can handle kind of what's coming? Like maybe this version of Ron Killings isn't the happy-go-lucky R-Truth that jokes around and, you know, gets lost in the back. And like you even said, if AEW had picked him up, it would have been like, oh, imagine him just playing that character of him still thinking he's over in WWE, but he's just lost R-Truth. Maybe we've now unlocked something that the fans aren't ready for. And I think maybe that's what Cena meant when he said you can't handle the truth.
Which is so ironic because R-Truth gets released and WWE fans around the world are like, no, we want truth. We want truth. And TKO goes back to R-Truth and says, hey, the fans want you because of who you were in your goofy nature. And then R-Truth is like, all right, I'll come back, but I want to be serious.
Yeah.
And then it's like, we didn't really get the guy that we asked for. And fans are naive. They don't see the bigger picture. And this is why you can always debate whether or not this was a work or a shoot from the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're getting the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And that's probably something that not a lot of fans thought they were going to get.
Yeah, and I'm very excited because I've always been a fan of the heel. I've never been a big fan of the big baby face, and I still think that we could see some collusion, even though Truth right now is attacking Cena every couple of days. Just remember the little faction that they built there at WrestleMania. Was it WrestleMania? Yeah, with Travis Scott and The Rock. Or sorry, Elimination Chamber. Travis Scott, The Rock, John Cena. You know, R-Truth would look real good as a fourth man in this situation. You know what I mean? I'm just throwing stuff out there and hoping it sticks. But, you know, I know Cena's final dates are coming to an end, but somehow swerving us, being like, you can't handle the truth. I'm really focused on this. You can't handle the truth. Maybe we've made a mistake asking for R-Truth back, and we get Ron Killings, and we're, like I said, we might not be happy with what we get, but WWE and TKO turn around and be like, okay, you asked for this. Now you have to swallow it, even if it's bad. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And maybe this is the way that they're putting it, which again works perfect with Cena ruining wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Grass isn't always greener on the other side.
Exactly. Well, guys, there was a short, quick, open one. Let us know in the comments. Can we handle the truth or can't we? I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.